global address. The procedure is same, only the address whatever you are going to assign, okay, it is going to be different. Okay, when you want to connect so many devices throughout India, okay, you just imagine how many unique addresses are required. Okay, so in that case, that type of addressing is going to be the global addressing. Okay, if you are whatever you can just see in our campus, okay, within our lab, if you want to exchange the data between the system, okay, or within the campus, so in such cases we can go with a local address. Okay, so whenever if we are going with a local address, so there is one number is used called virtual circuit identifier. Okay, so normally I'll be just using the short form of this, that is VCI. Okay, it is a number. Okay, it is a number assigned to each link, virtual circuit identifier. So the major role of this virtual identifier is very important in virtual circuit network. Okay, so the identifier used for data transfer called the virtual circuit. So this is mainly used for data transfer, like whenever the two devices want to exchange the data, so moving the or forwarding the data from one node to the other node. Okay, so how exactly if the data is coming from you, so where it should route the data, is it this way or this way, so that will be decided by this VCI. Okay, so here if it is a switch, it will be maintaining a table. Okay, so that will be containing what should be the VCI. So yesterday I told there is one diagram. I'll just go to that diagram. So whenever the data comes here, so it will be having some VCI. Okay, when it leaves this switch, it will be having different VCI. Okay, so how you got this? So that is here it is going to refer whenever if port, depending on the port, if the data is transmitted through port 1 or 2, accordingly it will be having the different VCI, outgoing VCI. Okay, so I'll explain this in detail later. Just remember here VCI means each link is assigned with a unique number. Okay, so here a VCI unlike global address is a small number, I told. So because we are just connecting small set of devices, that has only switch scope. Switch means maybe you just recall in the previous class I have played one video that tells the difference between a switch and the router. Okay, so here VCI is used by a frame between two switches. Okay, so here whatever the data I told, this VCI is implemented at data link layer. Okay, normally the data is represented in the form of frame. So whenever the frame is moving from this node to this node, and from here it has to go to either this node or to this node. So accordingly, whatever the VCI is recorded in the routing table, it will add that number and it will forward the data to the next hop or to the next node till it reaches the destination. Okay, so it is used by the frame. Whatever the numbers I told VCI, it will be added to the frame and it will forward the data to the next node. Okay, so this diagram tells, so what exactly this diagram tells? So whenever the data arrives at the switch, it is having one VCI. When it leaves the switch, it will be having different VCI. Okay, so how it will come to know that this is a VCI should be added to this data frame? So for that there will be a table maintained, routing table is maintained accordingly. So it is going to add the VCI to this data frame and it will forward to the next node. Okay, is that clear? Okay, so now we'll move on to three phases. Just a minute, let me just check if anybody is waiting in the lobby. Okay, so here there are three phases. Yesterday I was explaining the three phases. There are three phases, but the procedure used, it is going to be different compared to the circuit switch network. Okay, there also you had a setup phase, data transfer and tear down. Okay, so here also you are having the same phases, but what is the procedure used in these three phases? It is, this is common. Data transfer means it is going to transfer the data, but the procedure used is going to be different. Okay, in setup phase, the source and destination use their global addresses to help switches to make table entry of the connection. Okay, so the setup phase mainly, okay, the setup phase, it is mainly used for creating the routing table. Okay, so whenever, so node, okay, so whenever if the node want to send data to, this is consider A and this is a B. Okay, so whenever data to be transmitted from here to here, so in between there are so many nodes or switches. Okay, so now the where the data should go, which route it has to take. Okay, so that should be decided during a setup phase. Okay, and also it will create a routing table. Already there will be a routing table at the switch. Okay, already there is a routing table. So to the same routing table, it is going to add the information. Okay, so in case if the path setup is in this way for the data transfer of particular node, okay, so that information will be added into the routing table at the end of the setup phase. It will be having the clear information, so that the data sending from A to B should go in this path. Okay, and that information is recorded. As and when the data comes, the data frame comes, immediately it will refer the table, change the VCI, check in which port it has to send the data. Accordingly, it will forward the data. Okay, so your setup phase is going to happen in similar way, like how the circuit switch network works, where there is a connection setup. Okay, and there is an acknowledgement. Here also it is going to happen, but at the same time during setup, that is the first time it will send a request. That destination node, okay, it will be learning some information about the routing. Okay, and that information is added to the routing table, and also not completely. Okay, some of the fields are not filled with respect to the transmission. So whenever B or the destination node start responding for the request indicating I am ready to receive the data, so it has to inform that information by sending an acknowledgement. Okay, so whenever it is sending an acknowledgement, so it is going to add the outgoing VCI. So we have here two VCIs, one is incoming VCI and outgoing VCI. So that outgoing VCI is added to the routing table when there is an acknowledgement from the destination to the source. Okay, I will explain clearly with the neat diagram. As of now, you just understand. So the routing table is set up or it is built during setup phase. Okay, so during setup phase, there will be two uh, request. One is, I mean, two steps. One is request from source to destination, and there is a response from B to A. That is called as an acknowledgement. So once acknowledgement is received at A, so then A can start sending the data, and it will look into the routing table. Okay, so where it will get the complete information where the data should go, either this port or using this port or this way. Accordingly, the data is transmitted. Okay, so that is data transfer. And tear down, so once the data transmission is done, okay, so both the parties can agree to disconnect. What happens when there is a tear down? So whatever the entries it is made in the routing table, okay, all the details will be removed. Okay, once the source and destination decides to disconnect, okay, tear down the connection, so immediately whatever the data that is stored with respect to that connection, it will be cleared from the routing table. If not, what happens, you just imagine how much memory it requires to maintain each time if every node is adding the routing information. Okay, so whenever if new request comes, the searching also it will take a lot of time. So for that reason, the information of that particular route will be maintained as long as there is a connection and data transfer. Once it is completed, that information is removed from the routing table. Okay, is it clear? Three phases, how it is different from the circuit switch network, even though it is using three phases, but the procedure is going to be different. Okay, so let's start discussing how. So before going to the setup phase and tear down, I'll just go to the data transfer. So that is a simple method where you can understand very easily. Okay, to transfer a frame from source to destination, all switches need to have a table entry for the virtual circuit. Okay, so I told it has to build the virtual circuit before data transmission. So this table should be ready. Okay, so where it contains the routing information. Okay, so go to this diagram. So you can just observe this diagram. So what you can understand from this diagram, so that is how the data is transmitted. Okay, you can just observe. So there is a frame arriving from port 1. Observe the diagram very carefully. Okay, you can just observe. So this is the data. This is the first data. Okay, consider there are two data it is coming. One is having VCI 14 and another one it is having VCI 77. Okay, so now the first data that is arriving is having VCI is 14. Okay, and it is coming through port 1, and that information is already there. So in the table you have incoming and outgoing, incoming port number and VCI, outgoing port number and VCI. Okay, so whenever is the data that comes from port 1 with VCI 14, okay, it has to go to port 3 with VCI 22. So even though if it is having the same port, but it can have a different VCI. Okay, the port is different, VCI is different. You can just observe here. So once the data comes, this data with the VCI 14, and it will refer the table. Okay, the switch is going to refer the table. So if the data is coming from port 1 with VCI 14, okay, the data should be sent to the port 3 by adding VCI 22. Okay, you can just observe. So this is the data, and the VCI is changed to 14 to 22. So there is nothing it is going to do. It's already, that information is already there in the table, okay, routing table. So it will refer this table. Accordingly, it will add the VCI and it will forward to the next node. Next node can be either directly the destination or it can be one more switch. If it is one more switch, the same procedure is going to repeat. Okay. Okay, similarly, if any other data comes, okay, so outgoing port, it is 2. If it is 2, the VCI added is 41. Okay, just like that, it is going to have all this different information. Each link it is having different identifier. Okay, so that is data transfer. Okay, any queries in this? Very simple. Data transfer process is very simple because the table is ready. Only it has to change the VCI number and forward to the next node. Okay. So this is just for one node I have explained. So let's move on to the some more information, that is if it is source to destination. Okay, if it is source to destination, how data transfer takes place. Just observe the diagram carefully. So here we have two nodes. You can just consider it as a system or it may be a laptop. Okay. Okay, so now it requires to send the data from source to destination, that is A to B. So how VCI changes the trip? So that is when the data is moving from source to destination, how the VCI is changing. Just observe, go to the table. So for this switch, this is a routing table. For this switch, this is a routing table. Okay, each switch it will be having its own routing table. So just go through this table and try to understand how this data, this particular piece of data is moving from A to B. Just refer the table and try to understand quickly. So if you are sharing or if you want to send a file, okay, so that file, if it is PDF file, consider, okay, so that PDF file completely it cannot fit into a frame, okay, it will be divided into set of frames, and each frame, okay, it is going to follow the same route. A route is not going to change, okay, so you can just observe. So whatever the data that comes from A to B, so it is going to follow the same route for all the remaining packets. I told you people to go through the diagram. Try to understand. So here the data comes to port 1 with VCI 14. Okay, incoming data having port 1 and VCI is 14. Okay, it should be sent to port 3 with adding VCI 66. Okay, the same thing is done here. So next, once again for this switch, okay, whatever the data that comes from switch port 1 with VCA 66 should be sent to port 2 with by adding the VCI 22. See, all that information is available here in the routing table. Just verifying from which port it is coming and what is the VCI. Accordingly, it is going to update this information. It has to send the data to port 2 with VCI 22. Okay, then it will come to the next switch. What happens here? It will refer the table. Okay, if the data is coming from port 2 with VCI 22, should be sent to port 3 by adding VCI 77. Okay, so this is how the virtual circuit network works, or forward the data from source to destination. So here you need to remember one important point. That is, the data transfer phase is active until source sends all its frame. Okay, all its frame to the destination. It is, I am here in the diagram, I am just showing one frame. Okay, so like that there may be a number of frames, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it will be having set of frames. So all the frames will be following the same route. Okay, and here one more important you need to remember here, the reservation of the resources, either it may be reserved or it may be on demand. So it can work on both the method. Okay, the allocation of resources, it can be done in advance or it can be on demand. If it is on demand, there will be waiting time. In case if the resource is not available or if the link is not available, that particular frame has to wait. Okay, if it is reserved, that waiting time can be reduced. So during delay, so that will be easy. But sometimes what happens, because of whenever if you reserve the resources, okay, so there may be chance of not utilize that particular bandwidth efficiently. That problem may arise. Is it clear? I want the response. This is just with respect to one switch. Okay, so the same thing it is explored to the multiple switch, how the data is transferred from source to destination. The important point you need to remember here is the source sends all its frames to destination with the same path. Okay, understood now everyone? If any queries you can just ask me, or else I'll let me go to the remaining two more. This is one phase, that is data transfer phase. So next we have setup phase. Okay, so before data transfer there is a setup phase. How setup phase is done? Okay, so setup phase, it is having two steps. Okay, it is having two steps. One is, okay, one is setup request. You can just observe. So the two steps of setup phase is, first it should go for setup request. Okay, once the destination is accepted the request, then there will be a response called an acknowledgement. Okay, the destination is going to, okay, the setup request sending from source to our destination. Okay, acknowledgement is coming if the destination is ready to receive from destination to source. Okay, so because of these two steps, what happens, there is a connection setup phase completes. Okay, setup phase is going to established. So now let's look how exactly this setup phase is done. So that is very, very important before data transfer. So observe the diagram very carefully. So you can just observe something. This is before data transmission. So we'll just go in detail how exactly the routing table is built here. So that is the main intention of setup phase. So in the beginning, when the source want to send the data, there is no information regarding that in the routing table. Okay. So in setup phase, it is going to create the routing table. So now you can just observe. Now A want to send the data to B. So now first what it has to do, it has to set up a connection between A to B by going for setup phase. In that, the first step is go for request, setup request. You can just observe there is a small packet. It is sent indicating the A want to send the data to B. Okay, so that information is sent. So as soon as this information comes, that is source A sends a set of frame to switch 1. Okay, so this message is sent to switch 1. What is this message? It is a set of frame. It is a small message indicating a request to send the data from A to B. Okay, so now what the switch is going to do? Once it receives that request, you can just see the sequence number is given. Once it receives message A, what happens? Okay, now it is the duty of switch to update some information its routing table. Okay, so now switch 1 knows that frame going from A to B. Okay, because it will be having the source and destination address. Okay, based on that, the switch is going to it will come to know that the data moves from A to B and it goes port 3. Okay, it is the data is forwarded to port 3. Okay, so that is decided by the switch to reach the destination. So that is a different topic. Okay, how switch is going to learn, so to send this particular source to destination, this data, which port it has to take, that is going to be a different topic. Maybe you're going to learn in the upcoming chapters. Okay, so as of now, you just remember whatever the request that comes, it is going to send to port 3. Okay, so now the same information, okay, the same information that is added into the routing table. Okay, the data that comes to port 1 with the VCI. Okay, I told each link is assigned with a VCI. So now this VCI is considered as 14. Okay, and this data is going to port 3. So that information is updated. Outgoing VCI is not yet updated. Okay, so that is confirmed by the other switch, the next node. So I will tell that later. So now only these three informations are updated. Okay, with respect to incoming, what is the port number and what is the VCI. Okay, with respect to outgoing, only switch knows that it can be sent to port 3. So that information is added. Next, okay, what is the next step? So this information, as soon as it learns this information, it is going to update this. Okay, previously it was empty. This table was empty. Okay, as soon as it receives this information, setup request, immediately it is updating this information. Okay, next. So next what happens? The same setup request comes to switch 2. Okay, in switch 2, from where it is coming, from which port? So it is received through port 1. Okay, so that is updated in this table, switch 2 table. Okay, and the VCI for this, it is considered as 66. Okay, then to based on the source and destination address, it will come to know that it should be sent to port 2 to reach the destination. Okay, that is also added here. Once again, outgoing VCI is pending. Okay, it is not going to update that information as of now. Okay, so next, the same information, it goes to setup request, goes to switch 3. Same thing, it is going to update here. Okay, the data is received from port 2, incoming data received from port 2, then VCI is 22. Okay, and it should be sent to port 3. Okay, and that is sent to okay, where directly it will be reaching the destination, or else if any other switches, the same procedure is going to repeat. So now it is reached the destination B. Okay, so to reach this destination B, what is the VCI here they have considered is 17. Okay, so they have considered 17. Now what it is going to do? The destination. Okay, so the destination, if the destination is ready to make communication with A, so now it has to send the response. Let me just check here. Okay, so this is just setup request. Okay, so this diagram tells only setup request. Okay, that is how the request is moving from A to B, and also parallelly it is updating the routing table at the switch. So now once it is reached at node B, now node B, if it is ready to accept the connection or accept the request, it has to send the acknowledgement. Okay, let's go to the next diagram that shows how the routing table is updated based on the acknowledgement. So now this node B is going to respond, okay, with an acknowledgement. okay, with an acknowledgement. There in the acknowledgement message it is adding VCI, okay, virtual circuit identifier 77. So now when the information is received at this switch, okay, it is going to update, okay, that is VCI incoming frame that come from A in this case should be updated to 77, okay. So whatever the data received, request sent by A, for that outgoing VCI should be updated with 77 because of this response or because of this acknowledgement from destination. Similarly, it goes to port 2 because that is already updated here, okay, and this link it is having VCI 22, okay. So that is added at the in the acknowledgement, and accordingly this switch routing table is updated to 22, okay. The same procedure goes. Next, the same acknowledgement is forwarded through port 1 with VCI 66, okay, with the see this was already, you know that the link it is having VCI 66, okay, that is a virtual circuit identifier for this link, that is already there here in the incoming port. But with respect to response or whatever the acknowledgement it is sent by B, accordingly it is going to update the next switch routing table, okay. So based on this acknowledgement, it will come to know that the outgoing VCE for this particular request is 66, okay, and it will update. And finally that response or the acknowledgement is reached at the source, okay. So he is received the acknowledgement. Once acknowledgement is received, then A can start sending the data. It can start sending the data using the same path whatever it is set up, okay. Each time it can just go through the table. Once the data comes at switch 2, it will check if the data comes with port 1 and VCI is having 66, okay, it should be forwarded through port 2 by adding VCI 22, okay. So this is how the routing table is built between the setup request, okay. It is setup phase in that two steps, setup request and setup acknowledgement. So when it is sending the acknowledgement, during that time the outgoing VCI is updated in the routing table. So that you need to remember. Remaining all it is updated when the request is sent itself. Is that clear? Everyone understood these two steps? It's very simple to understand. So you have to draw this diagram. If they ask explain virtual circuit network, here more than explanation, so the diagrams are very important. Here not necessarily you have to remember these numbers, okay. So port number normally 1 2 3 4 you can just consider. VCI number you can consider anything, but according to your example it should be correct. Yes, any queries? Understood everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is a very important point. I told repeatedly already. So in virtual circuit switching, all packets belonging to same source and destination travel the same path because the path is already built in the routing table. So as and when the data comes with this port and VCI, so obviously this is a route it has to take. So that's why in virtual circuit identifier, so it is going to take the same route whatever it has set up or whatever the first packet it goes, remaining the frame. So remaining frame also follow the same path to reach the destination. But it can be a different delay. That is also very important. Okay, the packets may arrive at different destination at the arrive at the destination with a different delay. Okay, different delay. If source allocation is no is on demand. So here once again the whatever the source allocation, resource allocation, okay, I told in the previous two methods what is resource. So here as of now it can be a buffer, it can be a link, anything, okay. Mainly it is link. If this link is not reserved, okay, even though all the frames has to follow the same path, okay, if it is not reserved, so consider the next packet, okay. So if the next packet comes, maybe by the time this link may be busy with the other data transmission. So in that case, there will be a delay. Okay, there will be a delay. So even though it follow the same path, but it may arrive different time, different with a different delay at the destination, because the resource allocation, in case if it is on demand. Okay, on demand means it is not going to reserve during setup phase. Okay, so it is having flexibility. It can go with on demand, or it can go for like a reserved resource allocation. Okay, so that's why I told this is the combination of both circuit switch network and also the datagram network. Okay, in datagram network, how the resources are allocated on demand. In case of circuit switch network, so the resources are reserved. Once the setup phase is over, there will be resources reserved at each node to transmit the data. Okay, through which it can keep on sending the data. So their waiting time won't be there. Whenever if the resources are reserved, okay, there is no waiting time. There is no much delay to move the data from one switch to the another switch. But if it is on demand, okay, when the data arrives during that time, if it is requesting the resource, there may be a delay, okay, to reach the destination. Each packet may come with a different delay time because of this waiting time in case if resource is not available. Okay, so that is two important thing you need to remember. Okay, so like these are the some of the important points remember, and you should mention those important points when you are explaining. Okay, so let's move on to calculation of delay. So how delay can be calculated? So we have discussed in other two methods. You can just observe the diagram, you will come to know it is a delay, how you can calculate. And also this is just for one consideration where we have source and destination node and two switches. Accordingly, I'm just calculating the delay. Okay, if it is different, if you have more than two switches, if you have 5 switches, then accordingly you have to modify the formula. Okay, so the packet is traveling from two switches. You can just say either switches or routers. So these three transmission time, okay, that is the three transmission time is considered with 3T. The transmission time is considered 3T. See, this setup phase is different and this is different. Okay, the transmission time, you can just see the length, the how long it was sending the data. Okay, from time T1 to T2. So this total time we call it as transmission time. So that is represented with, so delay is equal to 3T. Okay, so 1T from year to year, and this is second T and this is third T plus. So transmission time, and transmission time, this may be varying in case if number of nodes are increasing. Okay, and propagation time, to send the data from A to B. Okay, it requires some propagation time. The signal is going to propagate from A to B. For that it requires some amount of time. Okay, so each time we can represent it as a tau. Okay, so that is 3 tau. That is propagation time to reach from this node to this node. It is tau. Like that, according to this method, we have 3 tau plus. What else it is there? What else it is there? What are the other delays you are going to consider? We have setup phase. No, I have not considered it. Okay, setup request. Okay, so setup request and also response together. The first green line, slope line indicates, okay, it is a setup request, and whatever you are getting back, okay, another response from destination to A, so that is called as acknowledgement. Okay, so together how much time it is taken to set up this connection, we call it as setup time or setup delay. Okay, plus what is the next one? Tear down. So what happens, why we need to consider tear down? Because tear down delay. because each time whatever the entry it is made in the table, routing table, with respect to this transmission, that has to be cleared. It has to remove that information. Once if these two parties are decided to disconnect, so then it will take some amount of time to perform this operation, that is clearing the entries of that particular transmission. Okay, so whatever the port number we say it is added, so that has to be removed. So this is how you're going to calculate the total delay that takes place in circuit switch network. Any questions? Any queries? Okay, I will. You can. Okay, let me just quickly go through the differences. Is it any queries? So this is very important topic, switching. Okay, so how data is routed. What is the technique used? That is very important in module 3. Okay, that is one of the important outcome you should learn. So switching means transferring the data. So how it will come to know transferring the data from source to destination using these three methods. So normally they may ask questions. Okay, so 8 to 10 marks.